Welcome to Borne to be Wild. This is a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign set in Matthew Mercer's Wildemount campaign setting. We're not going to introduce ourselves in the normal order today because Vixie's going last because she has important stuff to talk about. My name is DarkInsanities. I play a socially inept tiefling called Pelaios. I exist on the internet at DarkInsanities. Hi, Frici.
Oh, hi. Frici. I play an elf called Belanor. They mostly exist on the internet on this side at Frici.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, I'm Dave. I play a dwarf that might hit something today, possibly.
If we're really lucky.
I'm on Twitter at itsColossus, which is confusing, but it's just how it is.
It is wrong,
And it is wrong, but it's maybe someday Twitter will actually release usernames.
Hi, Rocky.
Hi, I am Rocky, the GM among all these silly folks for this particular campaign. I am everything that they are not, and sometimes a little bit of what they are. You can find me on Twitter at the GM Rocky, and I occasionally stream on Twitch when there is time to, when other stuff and all that stuff happens. I have committed a great dwarven travesty against my face. There is no beard for me this week.
Dun, dun. Which brings us to Vixie, who has to both introduce herself and talk about important stuff that's happening on Vixie channel today. Well, not today, but other days that aren't today, because she's here today. Vixie, talk so I don't sound so stupid, please.
I mean, I don't think you can stop.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I realise it's too late now, but...
Hi, I'm Vixie. I play Lisana, a human ranger. I can be found on Twitter at rsVixieRose. For the next 2 weeks on my channel, we are hosting a fundraiser for Extra Life in support of Children's Miracle Network Hospital, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital.
And because Frici is more competent than everyone else in this chat put together, there is a link in chat. So go do donations, see milestones, stuff, things, etc. And stuff, and we will make sure we post that link in the break and at the end as well. The last episode and the 15 episodes which precede the last episode are all up on YouTube, and you can get a link to that.
Is it me or are you getting completely cut off?
Dark did get cut off, yeah.
Okay, this is what happens when I turn my head away from the microphone. All of the last 16 episodes are up on YouTube, and they are in the... Why is that command not working? Okay, I'll fix that in a sec. There will be a command in chat for the link to the campaign playlist. This week's episode will go live on Friday evening UK time, and the clocks have changed, but I think they've changed for everyone now, so it's basically all the same or whatever. So that's stuff. The overlay you will see if you're watching live, our character sheets, as in the character sheet commands and stuff that have been going through chat and all of that, are done through DnD Beyond. Everything you see on the actual screen, the mainstream view, the maps, all the roles and stuff are done through Roll20. There are no alerts making noise or on the screen when the game is live, and we're mostly going to ignore chat verbally, though we will no doubt end up typing about how offended we are that you thought we would actually hit something when we roll. Lastly, we have 3 quick rules. Rule number 1, the DM is always right. Rule number 2, players can try to change the DM's mind. The DM is still always right. Rule number 3, viewers are not players and don't get to argue. Which brings us to Rocky, who has to catch everyone up because it's been a fucking month since we last played this game.
Well, thankfully it's relatively easy to figure that out, so let's get that going just right.
Didn't we just save a forest?
Spiders. So many spiders. So many spiders in trees with leaves of blood red and pale white bark. Not to mention swinging spider people who try to choke out folks with spider webs. and a dryad who was very helpful and thankful. So, you have been given sort of that extra little bit of fortitude and a little bit of a blessing of a forest. You should not be able to find any further, well, essentially, you could head back to the hallowed path, and pretty much take the easy, simple way around. Or you could see about traveling through the forest. But we all know how that goes.
I want to get out of the forest, I'll be honest.
Yeah, Pelaios is not comfortable in the forest.
Thankfully readily available to get out through that forest, and it is actually relatively easy to get back onto the hallowed path, wherein it is about, I believe it's just about, if my math is correct, once you get about 2 days in, you begin to see a particular...
Before we even got that far, I wanted to cast a spell.
I'm pretty sure you cast it on the day before, so please, go on ahead, Dave.
So I don't know what's about to happen, but I cast Find Steed. Then, Rocky, you can tell me what the hell happens.
Well, in the usual fashion when it comes to your own divine magic, you think and you perform this ceremony wherein at the last moment you do release sort of this divine energy, as it is almost like a tall, thin, draconic creature just walks out, opens its wings wide as if a gateway opens, and out steps a very somewhat familiar looking lion, albeit without its wings. It does seem to recognize you, and does go up to Vakhuil with sort of a nod in its head. So you do have that winged lion that you encountered back in Azorius and released back in Azorius, albeit summoning it with the power you have now has stunted it in its abilities.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at the party and say, how about that, huh?
Huh. Huh. All he has to say on it.
And then I'm gonna look at Vixie, Lisana, and say, hey, Lisana, so about that horse, do you want it back?
We'll keep it with us, but let's find someone that needs it.
Okay. I'm gonna ride on the lion though.
All right. Well,
So I can actually speak with this lion telepathically, right? That's what I'm getting?
That is entirely correct, yes.
Okay. And I can basically make it scout for me too?
Well, if it does happen to perish at some point, then, you know, it is dismissed for a while.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, as you were as soon as things start not pressing buttons, after a couple days, once you get to a bit of a valley, you see ahead of you a broken and marred landscape of jagged rock, craters, and spires of stone jutting up from the ground. This is what looks to be quite a calamitous sight. And you feel like probably going in there at this point is not the best idea, though it does appear that the road skirts between it and the Vermalock Wood. If anybody would like to make me a history check, at disadvantage since you would not be familiar... Well, no, just history check in general, since this may have some notes. So histories to those interested.
I can do that.
Frici,
Nice.
straight back into his normal roles. Dave had decent rolls last week because he was playing a different character. This week he's going to be straight back to all of the 2s and the 3s and the everything. Frici, first roll of the week after we haven't played this game for a month, immediate natural 20.
Is this the first roll of the day?
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, it is. And it's my natural 20.
Well, now to note, you know this area as the Barbed Fields. It is said that this is where the final battles of the Calamity were fought. But in doing so, the earth was scarred so badly in doing so. There is now unpredictable earth, strange occasions, and nasty weather and terrain that could swallow up careless wanderers. But because it was a site where multiple things of the Calamity occurred, this location could have powerful relics and armaments recovered, but doing so is quite dangerous. But in particular note to you, it is said that there is a towering tree which grew from the final seed left by Melora before she vanished beyond the Divine Gate.
This is going to be the second time in a row party gets killed because Frici says something or Belanor has an idea.
But that's just a rumor. It will be about 3 more days of travel before you would reach the last little dip in the valley and see a very dark and looming city in the distance as I get you a little image. Oh, they don't got a good image. I'm very sad. Momentary as I find it.
Question about this lion. Does it sparkle? Like how, or does it shine? Like what kind of... Like it's a celestial lion. Is there anything interesting about it?
It has a very fine, sleek coat to it.
Okay. But does
I
it...
can't seem to find an image.
If people look at it, is the first thing they think, huh, that's a celestial creature?
No, they first see, huh, that's a lion.
Fair enough.
Probably upon, further inspection and seeing how it behaves, they might think, oh, this is something a little bit different. But first, I'm pretty sure first and foremost, even if it were pink, people would say, huh, that's a lion.
Oh, I'm about to ride a lion into a town, aren't I?
Not just
Yes.
a town, but a city.
The capital
Shrouded.
city of a nature and not war.
Quite so. And there is, at least when you start going upon and close to it, there is what looks to be a permeating darkness shielding over this city, as I find the correct music to travel to. But let me actually move you to the other map so you can see just how large we're looking here.
Oh.
Oh, I recognize the style of this map.
what looks to be...
Just no, we're not there yet. So I'm just wondering what are the outsider like slums.
Well, upon first looking out, it is a large section of foreboding walls that had fallen since of obsidian, but it is mostly raised structures and old things. You probably see a few houses and whatnot outside of the large walls, but it does appear that looks to be quite a sprawling city under the dark afterwards. So shall I assume y'all in, or is it still trying to transition?
Yeah, we're in.
Loaded, yeah.
Oh, good.
Seem to be in.
All right. Well, thankfully, it is a good. Wow, is that really about? Yeah, big city. Big city. So you're able to make your journey. Yeah, that's like off the road that you had just come off. So don't worry, that's not recent. So just to give you perspective. But you are eventually able to reach the gates, and I assume guards there look at you a little warily.
Yeah, I'm on a lion.
Yeah, but you're also very definitively, well, I suppose all of us are very definitively not local.
Didn't we have something?
Remind me, why were we originally coming here? I can't actually remember.
We came here to do a quest for this.
It was a
Some
vision
kind of queen.
that led us here.
No. That was the forest.
That was what led Belanor into the forest.
We were coming
Yes,
here
and
to
being
do
in
a
the forest
quest of
is
some
what
kind.
led us here.
No. Back all the way where we started, we got a quest to do here.
Did we?
To get Frici's
No, Frici.
or to get someone's artifact.
I think it was a case
I actually can't remember.
that it is said that the Aurora Watch and so the Bright Queen has been having issues with outside beings, planar beings.
Oh, I remember that now, because that's why there was a celestial winged lion as well, because there's random interplanar stuff going on. So hold on, there's random interplanar stuff going on, and Vak is riding a fucking interplanar lion through the front gate. This was a terrible idea. What is your intelligence score, 2 or 3?
Mine?
This was a terrible idea.
1.
That makes sense.
I can tell you. Oh no, I'm actually smarter than my line. That actually surprises me.
Limited abilities, but you do have contacts that you have made and that you could give a reason to. Remember, you were given things in order to get here.
Yeah, I'm looking for it, but I don't see it in the party notes.
It was pretty much just a missive, a means of introduction.
Which I assume Dave is or Vak is carrying, because Vak's been the point man or point dwarf of this entire little adventure.
Well, you have the missive.
I'm trying to find who. I mean, I'll show these guards the missive, see what they say.
Well, thankfully they do happen to know writing, and they did get word of you beforehand. I don't think this map scale is entirely accurate because that is way too big.
Yeah, it's not a 20,000 mile city, I don't think.
I mean, according to this, it is. At the bottom, it says that little strip is 1,000 miles.
Yeah, well, I am changing that to feet.
The biggest city in the world.
Because that is way too huge. That said, they will know the missive. They do happen to take it, and speaking in sort of a bit of a rough common, there will be a arrangement made as long as you are able to find yourself some place to stay within the Gallimafre. We should be able to find you, or at least if you send a message to the Aurora Watch of where you are staying, then we will come to find you when it is time for your meeting with the Bright Queen.
Where is the?
Is there any stables for lions?
There's a pause and a look down. We don't often get lions. I'm sure as long as it is behaving of itself, it should be able to be stabled somewhere within the coronas.
Okay. Does my lion eat?
It doesn't have to, actually.
Oh, okay, I'm just making sure.
Can, but it doesn't have to.
Only if it's.
Can I tell my lion to please not eat the horses?
I think it's smart enough to know that it shouldn't eat friends.
Okay. Can I tell the horse to please not eat other horses?
Can you talk to the other horses? I think
No.
You
Can
just
I
said,
tell
can you
the
tell
lion-
the horses not to eat other horses?
Sorry.
That's what you said.
Can I tell the lion to not eat other horses?
I think it'll generally know that it's like, hey, you don't need to eat here.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, but this lion is now going to be an ongoing source of amusement to me.
Him and big cats, let's just say it. All right, moving on.
Wow.
You would be able to get through sort of these stone gates into the location known as the Coronas. It does appear to be the poorer district, sprawling little homesteads attempting to sort of make their way and tending to farmlands here and there. Lisana, can you give me a perception check followed by an insight? As you are going through the gates, you happen to see out of the corner of your eye, even though most folks are milling about and only give you a sidelong glance, there is a longer pause by what looks to be a young Gnoll female carrying a box of tools in her arms, just pausing and watching you go until you are out of sight. You're not quite sure why she gave you such a long, analyzing stare.
I'm going to move closer to whoever's right nearby and kind of give a sidelong look. Let them know that something seems off.
Who would be close to Lisana?
I figured that Back was in the front and the rest of us were sort of just clustered behind.
Well, who would be in that cluster near Lisana then? Who would like to speak up
Probably me.
and take
all
it.
of us, but I don't know. I would probably not be in the middle.
Well, you've been informed by Lisana that there is a particularly strange gnoll who's giving her the eyes for some reason.
Her specifically, or all of us?
Specifically, just Lisana.
Oh. Maybe it's because you're human and the Rosohna is technically at war with the mostly human sort of Dwendalian Empire. He's just making up words at that point. He just doesn't know what he's saying.
Mhm.
Well, he does. Yeah.
Right. Well, will you be making a? Will you be trying to find stabling and lodging in the Coronas or the Gallimafrey?
I'd like to sleep somewhere nice for once.
That
Right.
seems reasonable.
Moving definitely a bit further in then.
We move onwards into the city proper.
So while the Coronas were more, the poorer citizens, a foggy district with structures and newer homesteads, the Gallimafrey is deeper in the heart, and it is a very vibrant ward of the city. It looks to be a mark of intersection of culture and commerce. Seems to be like, a very good spot for wares, and the area is lit by ever-burning lanterns of green light strung across the street corners and roadways, with the little music of the waste folk and the haunting melodies of drow musician producing an ever-shifting atmosphere that could be a bit both welcoming and claustrophobic.
Question.
Hmm.
What was the general percentage of races in the Coronas compared to here?
For those, to be fair, a large majority dark elves. Pretty much out of every 3 folks you see, it's a dark elf. Otherwise, you'll see that third one as a goblin, a dark dwarf, or Durgar.
Also in the Coronas?
Everywhere. Yeah, across the
Okay.
whole populace.
Just wondered whether there was some kind of racism going on here. That's all I wondered.
No. Maybe not amongst themselves.
It's more just anyone whose empire needs to die immediately. Everyone else, go about your business.
Thankfully, within the next little while, you are able to sort of ask for directions to find where you could get some easy stabling as well as some lodging. Relatively close to the gate, since that seems to be a nice, good price point between more luxurious and cost-effective.
Preferably, I'd like a place that has both a bar, food, and beds.
Well, you'd be able to find such a place at the close location I did describe, the tavern and inn combination known as the Golden Weaver.
What's the priority on those, by the way? Tavern, food, and beds. Which is most important? Which is least important? I'm just curious for my own amusement.
Tavern and bed food.
Beds come a distant ninth. Cool. The Golden Weaver.
You have a little while, and after sort of sending a little bit of a missive and message to notify the Aurora Watch where you are staying, you are able to go about the city at your own pace and own watch. So what would everyone like to do here in the city of Rosohna?
Is there anything I want to do?
I am going to. I assume. Yeah, I'm going to look out of the window and just up at the sky curiously.
It is an eternal dusk with a sort of an aurora of green shimmering as this dark magic has been cast over to block any sunlight to pierce down and probably harm the eyes in its own blinding fashion. It seems to be a city of shadows. Somewhat welcoming.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. And once I've looked about for a while, I will just sit on the floor of the room or whatever and just sit there meditating. Because
Frici,
that's what
Dave,
I do.
Vixie.
What time of day is it?
It's hard to
dark out.
tell with the it's kind of dark out all the time. But your internal clock is sort of saying it's probably around mid-afternoon.
Essentially, our shops and stuff open.
Quite so.
Mid-afternoon they would be. Probably restocking on supplies and checking to see what sort of paints they might have in this city.
All right.
I was just waiting for someone to say what time of day it is. It's dark.
Well, thankfully you would be able to purchase whatever supplies you would need. General stores are quite well and plentiful, and it seems to be that the paints that they do happen to have here, thankfully you are in a good market district, they are more exotic shades, deeper hues, and vibrant colors that have to stand out in this darker environment. Some even happen to glow a little under light.
Oh my god, glow paint.
The Korean dynasty has invented ultraviolet paint already. Neat.
And when asked upon its origins, it is due to a bioluminescent beetle that they happen to grind into the paint.
So I just want to look around town and see if there's a magical tattoo parlor.
That would definitely be a bit difficult to find. I'll need you to give
Damn
me a
it.
D100 roll.
Do you think Dave just sits there and thinks, how can I make Rocky have to improvise something obnoxious?
I mean, there
Right.
is technically something that Matthew Mercer released related to this.
Oh, I know it exists.
Related, yes, but I have not got it in. So, it pretty much you are looking around for the better part of your time here. And it does seem to be that you aren't quite able to find what you are looking for. You do happen to pass a jeweler on the way a few times.
A what?
A jeweler. One who sells jewelry.
Oh, yes. I'm gonna. Our party is 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm worried that you had to count that.
The problem is, I'm gonna go back and ask the party to come with me because I want to buy all of you rings for a new spell I can do.
Ah, you need to get their sizes.
Yes, and I want to know the designs they want.
Okay, well, Frici, what about yourself?
I don't think I can afford anything in this thing. So what Belanor would be doing here?
That's a very good question. If you do not feel that you would be doing anything at this point, we can reconvene. Oh, right. What general supplies are you looking for, Vixie?
Probably restocking arrows or getting feathers to make my own if they don't have a weaponsmith or a fletcher in the area.
They will definitely have some arrows available to you. Though the fletching seems to be slightly different as the feathers are from night birds.
That's fine. Would it be possible to get an upgraded bow here?
Possibly if you found a relatively good magic shop, it might be entirely possible. But that would be something to figure, find, ask around for. Maybe one of the other shopkeepers that are more specialized in particular magical sorts would be able to point you in the correct direction.
So yeah, I'm gonna ask that as well. Probably ask the fletcher if they can point me towards the best person to get a new bow from.
Alright, gotta find out how much these arrows cost. How many arrows are you grabbing?
Probably about 50 or 60.
60 you would be able to get for 3 gold. 50 would be 2 gold, 5 silver.
I'll get 60.
And the paints themselves will cost 10 gold, but that's because they are quite luxurious colors.
Say that again, please.
10 gold for the deep and vibrant paints.
Okay.
Well, let's see. You would be pointed in a particular direction in town to where that magic shop would be. But you would probably want to put your purchases back before you start going out to negotiate with a weaponsmith. And upon that reconvening, we would have Vakhuil proposing this idea to go to a jeweler where he is wishing to be prepared to have a material component for a spell ready.
And I will pay for it.
And he is paying for all of it, which is a shocking change.
You're not asking for a loan this time.
No. I am actually paying for it.
Huh. What's it for? What does the spell do?
So the spell that I can do is I can choose one other person, and as long as they stay relatively close to me, they become a little bit harder to hit. You take... It hurts less. The only side effect is that I also take the amount of pain that you get.
seems awfully potentially useful. I suppose that
So-
seems like a good idea.
I propose that we go to a jeweler. They need to be fairly valuable, so I'm thinking at least 50 gold. But I'm gonna say, I think you all are my friends, and if you want to pick a more expensive platinum ring that is around the 100 gold range, that's okay by me too.
I'm gonna have this massive, gaudy, diamond-encrusted monstrosity. No, break the bank.
All right, that all said, I'm going to be moving you to a map, as you are going to have to pass by a particular fountain and statue square to get towards the jeweler. New pretty maps.
Yeah, see, whenever you show us a map, something bad happens.
What are you trying
do you
to?
say that?
What are you implying?
All right, well,
You have to say
let's
that.
see. The jeweler will be on the opposite side of the fountain square. So if you could negotiate yourselves within sort of this nice little 4x4 with however you feel you would be walking together.
It's when he says roll initiative that stuff that happens that's bad. So what you're doing, just arranging ourselves. Yeah, I'll stay.
All right.
The
Arranging
last
thyself, yeah.
time we were shown a map while walking through a city. Suddenly we heard flail snail.
First leading to Rocky's nickname in my Discord server. He's not.
Yes. Let's see. All right. Given that it's been an hour, I'm just seeing. Do we need a puppy check, or are we good to continue?
He's good. He's knocked out. The puppy is completely knocked out.
Okay.
That sounds ideal.
Just had to have myself a drink.
All
right.
Pelaios is happy to be at the back of this little group. That way, there's more people in between him and the oncoming attack.
All right. Can everyone give me a perception check, please?
Oh. Can't wait to fill this role.
Frici? That is 2 times you've rolled today. And that is 2 natural 20s. For fuck's sake, Frici. God damn it.
I see a rock.
You're more honed in and focused on trying to get to the shop. You've got your eyes set forward. Pelaios, you're just sort of admiring the shadows of the city. It is Lisana and Belanor who happen to see something peculiar. The light level is changing around sort of the edges as you sort of go past some of the buildings. And eventually the area becomes much, much, much brighter.
I assume I would eventually notice this.
Eventually, yes, as you feel like you are no longer plunged into some form of darkness.
It's that change blindness thing where it's steadily getting lighter and lighter. Oh, why is it 9 o'clock in the morning and I've been playing games all night? Because that's never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a sort of thing where...
Oh, hold on. Different thing. Wrong layer. Wrong layer.
Oops.
Where it's nighttime during the day and it's daytime during the night?
No, it is pretty much dark for a long, long while. But there is every once in a while a period when the light is shown in a controlled manner. This seems to be entirely uncontrolled as people are out doing things casually as opposed to convening. But in this sort of bright, shining light, there is also sharper beams that do happen to pierce down behind the group. and form into 4 blazing figures.
I regret my
good.
positioning in this group.
4 blazing radiant figures. 3 of serpentine shape and 1 of what looks to be sort of a humanoid dwarf-ish, albeit with a rising mane of radiant light.
Are you really making me fight against Celestials?
They don't look... Well, who knows what these might be.
Just
Let's have
because-
some initiative.
Right?
See, this is when bad things
I
happen,
swear
when he
to
says
God.
that.
Oh,
Dave rolled a natural 20 and still only gets 19. It's funny.
indeed. I seem to have double-clicked, and I also seem to not have had my character selected, I think. Oh, did
Then
I?
we'll take the first one.
Ooh. That's a thing. Double 20s.
Can we not
Hmm?
attack immediately? Can we see if we can, like, convince them to not attack?
I mean, for all we know, this is perfectly normal behaviour in this city. It seems unlikely, I'll be honest, but for all we know, this is perfectly normal behaviour. We may or may not
Oh,
get
look,
the...
another 20.
Yeah, we may or may not get the chance to not attack first.
Oh, look, another 20.
What is this episode? This is just 20s, 20s, 20s. Even when Frici doesn't roll a 20, he gets a 20.
What do you mean I rolled a flat 20 there? I know I didn't, I rolled an 18.
You only 19 plus 2.
Hold on a moment. It's trying not to do that. Blah, blah, blah.
Should I not technically be above Belanor because I have a higher dex modifier? Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, it's +3. Yours is only +2 based on what you rolled. I think.
Oh yeah, you do. What's your thought we're not doing that?
That's probably also true.
Well, both of you go at the same initiative in any case, but thankfully there was some warning because half of the folks were
Because
able to
there
go.
were giant beams of light shooting down from the sky.
Yeah,
We
because it was
also
noticed.
have that sword. I
Quite
think it was
so.
a sword.
It's
Can't be
axe,
surprised.
Hammer, or
Axe.
magic melee weapon.
The axe of warning.
Everyone knows axes are actually
Yeah.
hammers.
That said, Pelaios and Belanor, you are the first set.
I
Want to try to reason things?
Well,
Do
you
I
could give me a
Yeah,
religion or arcana check if you want to
I was going to say,
see
can
what
I
they might be.
roll an arcana to see if I recognise or understand what they are, or anything?
Sure.
Hey, look,
20 is the... well, too bad this isn't episode 20. Then this would be all too thematic.
That would be good, but never mind. We can do it. I don't mind rolling all 20s in 3 episodes' time. I'm fine with this.
Yeah, let's also have the enemies all roll 20s too.
Oh, valid.
Alright, so you recognize these as extraplanar beings, not celestial, but from a plane of radiance.
Not celestials, but from a plane of radiance.
Elemental of some form. The front 4 fellow is what is known as a sun walker, and the snaky boys behind are sun crawlers.
That's...
The question is...
I mean, it's an accurate description.
The question is, does it seem like they're gonna attack us?
Did I roll high enough to understand what their general approach towards scrubs on the material plane would be?
Everything must be radiance. Light must be seen. If there is something blocking that light, it must become light. So, elemental, simple, easy, single-minded. They are in their element. They want to make more of their element.
I will.
You have a squishy body.
I will say to the rest of the group, I think there's some sort of the radiant something. I think they might object to the clouds. I'm maybe. I will then not attack them. I will. Yeah, no, I am good. I will end my turn there, which I will no doubt come to regret, but I'll do it anyway.
I mean, you could prepare something.
I could.
could.
I've ended my turn now.
Okay.
No, no, I'm ending my turn now. It's fair. I clicked the button.
Eleanor.
Wait.
I sort of don't want to jump the gun, so to speak, so I think Belanor will just wait to see what's going on, but be prepared to kill whoever might be in trouble, if trouble happens.
Look at us not being murder hobos.
Right?
Everyone in chat's gonna
Yeah.
be so disappointed.
But I will
Super
be
disappointed.
doing this turn. I will prepare a heal.
Okay, prepare a heal for someone who gets hurt. Okay. Well, alright.
Yeah.
And then they will coil up as they look to be readying something.
Oh, I just realised something. Strength of the Grave doesn't work if I'm reduced to 0 hit points by radiant damage. Oh, I'm going to die so badly.
What happened to the turn order?
Yeah, that got accidentally kicked for a second. Oops, one moment.
If you need to reconstruct it, we have the rolls.
We all
Have the
rolled
room to bring
20,
back.
and they all rolled 1s.
Right? Oh boy, you do need to reconstruct it, I'm so sorry.
Gotta love it when things go poof.
Oh.
Alright, and the Sunwalker also appears to be preparing something. Which now leaves us with Vakhuil.
Well, first off, I'm going to stand right over there. I'm gonna show my shield and say, I am a devout follower. I believe in the Radiance. Is there anything we can do to get you to not attack us? Or anyone, for that matter.
It just seems to cock its head at you, not able to understand.
Do I don't know any language.
You manage okay with common, in fairness. Sometimes.
Anything else you gonna do, Vec?
I'm thinking.
Think faster.
Vac has to take thinking as an action because it's him. At this point, I would probably, as the person who totally didn't do anything on that turn, suggest a defensive spell of some form. Or heck, even just take the dodge action, or whatever it's called, because it boosts your AC by like 2 or something?
4.
4. I mean, it's not aggressive, it just makes you even less likely to get hit than you usually are with your 25 AC or whatever it is.
I'm gonna cast Aid on all of my compatriots.
All right. Aid. 5 temporary hit points to everybody, I believe, correct? Well, press the button. We'll
Yes.
see it.
Press the button.
Yep. 3 creatures. All right, so you all have 5 extra hit points.
I'm a fan.
Just put it as like a +5. We'll have it as like over plus, so we're fine. So I'll do that actually.
If you're doing it, I'm not touching anything. It goes super funky if 2 people try to do things.
Oh, I just added it to the temporary
yeah.
hit points box on mine. Okay, I'll put mine back, it's fine. Because
Yeah, that's what I did too.
we're all just so efficient.
Well, it's technically hit point max, so it could be over heal. So
Oh yeah, hit point maximum and hit points. Fair enough.
As I cast this, Vakhuil has started playing around with a little bit of comedy in his mental images of spells, and
Oh no.
little dragons with medkits fly into you guys.
all right. So that was your action. That'll last for the next 8 hours.
I hope because it is radiant that they'll like it.
They're shiny little flying dragons with medkits.
Yes.
Medic.
Well, is that your turn, Vakhuil?
Yes.
Then press the button. Lisana, it's now your turn.
Can I try to determine what we're up against?
Yes, you can give me a Arcana check at advantage.
Because I already did one, I presume. Or
These are specifically elementals.
of course. So Lisana gets advantage because he likes shooting them.
These are from a para-elemental plane. Or I forget if it's para or quasi. But whatever it is from a plane of light. So these are elementals, and elementals are single track minded. If something is not their element, if something does not embody their element, they will make sure it does through force.
I'm gonna pass this information on to the party.
Yeah, I'm still hoping that by me imbuing you guys with radiance and me already being it, that somehow helped.
It will die 5 hit points slower.
Anything else, Lisana? Since that was a little simple, not going to cost you anything in your action economy for that.
I'm going to ready my bow and step back just in case.
One other piece of information. Weaker elementals from this plane of light seem to have a propensity to be dissipated by darkness.
Instantly?
Passing that information on as well.
Does anyone know darkness?
No.
All right. Anything with your bow?
Nope. If I want to have it ready, so if they try to attack, I can immediately shoot. But that's it.
Okay. Well, then you may. Pelaios, new information.
Was it be possibly information that a shadow sorcerer who can intrinsically cast the darkness spell could possibly make use of?
Quite perhaps.
So, I can probably see where this is going. Let's see, what are the specifics? 60-foot range, 15-foot radius. And I would like to be able to see what happens. So, I will move over here so I can get a sort of clear line of sight with the dwarf not being in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I will cast Darkness on... Hold on, let's work out exactly. Not that it's going to matter too much, but... Yeah, what the heck. I will cast Darkness there. I think that should be 15 feet in every direction. And I will do so...
Radius? 15-foot radius.
15-foot radius, yes. And I will do so spending 2 sorcery points so I can actually see what happens. Afterwards, 15-foot radius for duration, darkness spreads around corners. A creature of dark vision can't see through this darkness, and non-magical light cannot illuminate it.
If you cast it there, won't that also cover Vakhuil?
Probably true, yes. And yes, I'm well aware of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Just making sure.
I've never cast darkness before. He doesn't know necessarily how it works. I mean, he does, but he's probably fine. 2 sorcery points down. Which means I can still see through it. As if it wasn't there. I had it cast 1 spot to the right. It was there. Oh, it's sort of sliding from side to side. Yeah, that works.
Right there?
Yeah, we'll leave that right on just on the inside edge of it, just because it's slightly funnier. And so Pelaios will step to the side. He will mutter some things, and out of his completely black eyes, because it's funner this way. Yes, I said funner. A twin stream of darkness will just flow straight out of his eyes, sort of twist itself round, sort of almost, let's say, snake-like, because I wasn't playing UNT last week at all. But you get the idea. And it sort of meets in the center of that and just sort of bursts or blossoms, whatever you want to call it, out into a 15-foot radius sphere of complete darkness that none of you can see through. And that therefore completely obstructs your view through it, past it, whatever, including 15 feet into the air. And we'll say I cast it on the ground, so for convenience.
What is your spell save DC quite again?
Oh, goody. 15.
Okay. Well, I just had to make a few sets of saves for the sun crawlers. As you see those little blips snuffed out by the darkness.
All 4 of them. Fuck yeah.
No, just the crawlers.
Oh, just for crawlers. I'll take it. Right, that was action. I don't think there's anything I really want to do as a bonus action. Question mark.
Can you get rid of it as a bonus action?
No, I can cast Shadow Blade as a bonus action, but I can't actually attack anything with it because that would be a regular weapon attack action. Cool. I will end my turn there because that's basically all I can do. I could move a bit more, but I'm happy where I am.
Belanor, big old spot of darkness. You can't see anything. And
Would
Vakhuil
I
has
know
his...
that Vak is safe?
Hmm?
Would I know that Vak is safe there?
Well,
that
you're
kinda
familiar
safe.
with that this is some form of magical darkness.
And you're very
So-
well aware that I cast it, obviously.
And you've seen the
Yes,
darkness spell
that's the
before.
point.
So,
Oh, that's true.
yeah, albeit this one looks a bit more oddly tangible in terms of how it is. Weird shadow stuff kind of deal.
Weird shit. You would presumably still know where Vak was on the assumption he hasn't moved since the spell was cast, so you would presumably be able to walk up behind him and
Yeah.
yoink him
Yeah.
out of it if you really wanted to, or something.
Perhaps, yes.
I mean, yeah.
Or
I'm not telling you what to do.
push me for
Strength
push
check,
me further
Belanor.
in.
Yeah, strength check, Vak versus Belanor. What could possibly go wrong?
Right. There's not much I can do in this situation other than
Fireball.
right, but I can't do that yet. I guess Belanor would try to drag back out if possible, hoping to not get hit by anything. Especially knowing that Bak would panic there.
Yeah, during your long months traveling together, he always has a nightlight on.
All right. Well,
Let's
Vakhuil,
say-
you would feel a hand as you. So that's what you're doing. You're going to approach and put a hand on his shoulder to give him a little pull out.
Yes.
All right. So you will feel sort of that a familiar grip of Vakhuil. You may not see it, but you know sort of this touch and this pressure as from Belanor. Are you willing to be guided and moved, or are you
Yes,
going to?
but only
Okay.
only one step back.
Of course, yeah. He would
Yeah,
only be
that's
able to
how I
move you
believe.
within an adjacent square.
I can't really carry you after all.
All right. That's your turn,
That would be
Belanor.
My action, I believe. Yeah, that would
All
be my
right.
turn.
Okay. Well. Here we are. Back out. All right, and it seems to be that there is a momentary look between what's going on and a recognition of what caused that darkness.
Naturally.
We'll step away, but that is an opportunity attack.
For both of them.
Oh,
You both get opportunity attacks for that one.
That's true. That's for both of us.
Assuming you aren't saving your reaction for something else, but...
I'm hitting something.
You're hitting something.
Game is broken. Reset everything.
They're both hitting something.
I mean, Frici hitting something's less unusual.
So Lisana had her arrow ready to shoot if it became hostile, so she gets an attack as well.
Correct. That seemed to have gone a little bit too high and sort of passed through the light-ish mane hair. So it doesn't
She
seem to be the best-
panicked.
Yep.
It's like that person in Lord of the Rings 2. Just holding a bow and just suddenly releases it by accident and just murders an orc on the front lines.
And with a Radiant Warhammer to bring down two-handed onto Pelaios.
Oh, this is going to go well. Fucking +5, that hits. At my armor class. God damn it. 200 Warhammer, this could hurt.
$10 total damage.
Yeah, this hurts.
Only 1 radiant damage on it.
Oh, that's good.
You had to piss them off.
Oh, right.
Aren't you happy I gave you 5 HP?
Yes,
You did.
I forgot to do one extra thing here.
Oh, murder me straight up.
Vakhuil and Belanor, I'm going to be rolling some d10s for you.
Radiant proximity damage. Yay.
Okay, Vakhuil, you'll be taking 5 radiant damage, and Belanor, you'll be taking 3. As when
For
you did
just
strike,
hitting him?
as when you struck its body with your weapon, there was a burst of a radiant flash as whatever is binding it unleashed back at you in its own manner.
Oh, good.
Darkness stays.
An aid is not concentration, so all is good.
That is quite correct. And I believe that is its turn. Yeah.
Yeah, for chat, when they attacked, it's basically splashback damage. There must be a proper term for that. It's basically, yeah, just splashback. When they hit.
Recoil,
Recoil.
counter.
Yeah, something. On hit, fuck you anyway.
Um,
Um.
yes, let me.
To the next letter now.
Yeah, now I know that it's going to attack me by me just hitting it. I need to think for a second. Oh well. I'm gonna attack it twice.
Wait, it's gonna hurt me? I need to think about this. I'm gonna attack it twice.
Hey.
That'll hit. That won't, though.
Yeah, there's nothing else I can do, honestly.
I was gonna laugh if it did more damage back to you than you did to it, but never mind.
That would have been a little bit funny, but that's how that goes. Anything with your bonus action, Mundu?
I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith, just in case.
Alrighty then.
I think we're definitely gonna have to call it on hit fuck you anyway attacks because I like that now. Just because.
Is that 21 AC before the buff or after the buff?
Why is this
What?
even a question? When is your armor class 21?
Oh,
before
you
or
need
after?
to press your special Shield of Faith button.
Yeah, I know.
23. Good gracious. All right. Well, Lisana, it's your turn.
Don't try to hit.
Yeah.
Don't try to shoot back because you'll inevitably miss.
That makes sense.
First thing I'm doing is casting Dreadful Strikes.
Alrighty. Dreadful Strikes. All attacks here will be with a little bit of extra psychic damage.
And moving a little bit further away and taking a shot.
Alrighty. That will hit this time. That is 10 damage. And being level 5, guess what?
I get to do it again.
Yes.
Da, 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 da. Level 5 martial characters get all of the attacks.
And
Well,
miss.
That'll miss. Just a little bit of a miss, but...
I mean, you hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Not a completely wasted
And
turn in
you
any
hit
sense.
it.
Yeah, you hit it, and it didn't decide to just throw radiant damage back in your face. Can I, out of curiosity, take a, not like a proper full-on perception check, but a glance through the darkness? Is there anything interesting or of note happening at a glance? Like, I'm not looking to use an action to perception check it or anything, just...
Well, there seems to be tiny little motes that are struggling where the sun crawlers were in the darkness, as if they're
Okay.
trying to move, but they're not able to.
Cool, that's fine. Was more just out of curiosity than anything. It is right next to me, and it doesn't seem to like me, which makes me really inclined to like it, except not. So we're going to go with...
I see potential for something really silly right here, but I wonder if you see it or not.
I don't know. I see something which would be fairly silly, but I'm not sure. Are you talking about new spell, or are you talking about a shocking grasp?
I'm talking about spell you currently have that would currently combo with something you've already got on the field.
Oh, that's true. No, they're both concentration.
Oh, right, they are.
Yeah, no, I did think of that, but no, Shadowblade and Darkness are both concentration, and we already mentioned that it's nice and bright out today, which is strange for Rosohna, but those are the breaks. Lightning
Them's
bolt.
the breaks.
Lightning bolt might be a little bit of an overkill.
Teeny bit, maybe, yeah.
See, here's the thing: I can't move away for a ranged attack without it getting an attack of opportunity on me, and I can't use a melee level attack because it will just set me on fire. So I will use. I will cast Mirror Image. So what you see is Pelaios' form blurs slightly, and then suddenly there are 4 of him. And all of them are doing exactly the same thing at exactly the same time. These are 3 perfect duplicates of the original, to the point where you don't really know which is which anymore.
Ah, yes, the shadow clone technique.
Pretty much.
Vakhuil looks around just to make sure he isn't actually drunk.
Yeah, you sort of cough on your hand a little bit and
This
just
is
smells
beyond
like, no,
this is beyond the
you're,
usual seeing double. We're seeing 4 now. Seeing
Yeah,
quadruple.
you're still day sober.
And yeah, they're sort of just there, and it almost sort of looks like they're shuffling, like if you're shuffling a pack of cards or whatever. So even if though you may have known which was the right one, real one, and to begin, you can't anymore. So I will do that, and then I will move. Oh, what's the best way to go?
Away.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide if I want to go straight down, or I'm going to go that way, then that way. So I am next to Lisana, which should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's only 25 feet.
All
which
right.
It will get
So,
its opportunity
good.
attack.
Mhm.
That'll hit. So I roll a 20. I can't find my dice. Hold on. Is mirror image is not concentration, so that's not a thing I need to worry about. If I roll higher than a 6, then it misses and I lose 1 duplicate, because one of the duplicates just it swipes at me as I walk past. It goes through. It looks like it connects, and then one of the duplicates just sort of collapses in on itself
Poops.
into
Mhm.
a puff of smoky darknessy, shadowy no moreness.
I'm surprised you didn't run into the darkness. That would have been a disadvantage on that attack, too.
He didn't
That's
think about it.
true.
And I mean,
should
you
have
can
thought of that.
see in it too.
That's true. I should really have thought
Mhm.
of that. I didn't think of that. So yeah,
Right. Well,
I'm a
that
dumb
is
dumb.
your.
I'm a dumb dumb.
That is
This
your
is well
thinking.
established. That's not the button I was looking for.
Mhm.
I've lost my N10 button. Go back. There we are. Why would you not click? Why do you hate me so, game?
Click on done in chat.
Want me to fix it?
There we are.
For that.
Oh, no,
Oh
he's
yeah,
got
I
it.
can click on done in chat. Every time I tried to click on it, I ended up painting instead. Belarus time.
This might be a little risky move, but I'll be moving back closer to Lisana, and
Oh, I technically worked that calculation out wrong, but it had the same result anyway, so it makes no difference. I roll a 20 as soon as you target move an attack, not when it hits.
Yeah.
Because my mirror images.
Order of operations.
Yeah, my mirror images have a lower AC for me. It would have hit and wiped out anyway, so it makes no real difference. But
I'm gonna cast flame arrows on her quiver, giving her 12 flame arrows, I believe.
It is 12 flame arrows.
Yep. That would be the end of the turn.
Alright, Sunwalker will take a step of an approach, but not get out of that radius, knowing that there's some irritants on both sides. We'll swing Warhammer at Vakhuil. For a 16,
oh yeah, that totally hits.
and will, in its own frustration, swing again. And
With
miss.
some frustration.
Vakhuil, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go and scoot around him. Does he actually have like a physical warhammer in his hand?
It is one made of, well, it seems to be somewhat solid, but it is mostly light.
Pelaios
My
would love
question
to
is,
confirm it is in fact solid.
if I order it to drop it, can he just get it back?
Who knows?
Can I roll a religion to figure it out?
That's not quite religion, because it's not a celestial thing. It's arcana, because it is elemental in nature.
I would say run with it, even if it can generate it, run with it. Your character would definitely run with it.
I mean, the command will force
Yeah.
it. The command will effectively make it lose its next turn anyway, won't it?
No,
It takes
not if I make it. Not if I make it drop its weapon.
Well, it follows the order and thus ends its turn after. So pretty much that is correct statement.
Oh, right.
It follows the order on its turn.
because
Well,
it's ordered
let's
to use its
try it
actions.
out.
So even if it does regenerate its hammer, that's an extra turn where it can't be
1 second.
flailing any of us in the face. By any of us, I mean me. All three of me.
Let's try it out.
Wisdom saving throw.
Roll low, please. That's not low.
It will resist.
Isn't that exactly your wisdom saving?
No, it's way higher.
No, Dave's Vax spell DC is like 12, 13.
13.
Oh, it was 13, not 15. Okay.
No, his charisma's low compared to as main spellcasting, main ability, whatever.
That's all I can do.
Lisana, you should have a new little entry in your thing for damage.
I see that.
Da, 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 da.
I can see the creature over Vakhuil, yes?
Pretty much,
Easily.
I'm
Easily.
still thinking maybe I should move just so I don't accidentally
yeah.
shoot
Probably a
wrong.
good clear shot would be a good idea, yeah.
But this way, if you hit him, it's much funnier.
Did you move that close to it?
Yeah, if you stand there, it can get to you without leaving Vax melee range to opportunity. Yeah.
Squares are a little hard to see on this map.
That's fair.
They are a
Can you
bit, yeah.
change? Can you
Yeah,
change
yeah.
color of the squares, the lines? Can you like change them to
can.
black lines or something? Because they will.
I also had a kitten climbing my leg while I was trying to move, so
Here we go.
Roll for movement with disadvantage.
A little better there?
Yeah, that's better to see.
Alright, let's have them shots with the extra, I suppose.
Oof.
10, sadly will miss.
as will a 7.
And
Oops.
Yeah.
This is why we
Oop.
moved so that Vac was not directly in the line of fire with an actual one.
Oh boy.
You get that fire because those good flame arrows.
Yep.
Maybe those were too hot for you.
Your turn, Pelaios.
So it is. I will start thinking about what I was going to do, which I should have done at least 2 turns ago, but never mind. I don't want to get anywhere near it, so...
Yeah, take a step back, at least.
Question, Rocky.
Mm.
If I use Gust, and this is a mechanics of attacks of opportunity, and I think this won't work. If I use Gust... and
Forced
success-
movement doesn't do it.
Didn't think so. Worth a check. It's if you move, not if you are moved. And yeah, I should take a step back. First of all, let's move here. Actually, does that take me outside of 30 feet? Because I might not want to do that. No, we're good. Okay. And we're going to cast... Because it's sort of bright and shiny and bright, we're going to go with Ray of Frost. Which I realise it's not fire, but whatever. I can't find Ray of Frost on this list. There it is. Ray of Frost. That's a
Well hit.
27 to hit. I could even hit the dwarf with that one. And in the fashion that he picked up when we were in the forest, he will use his tail to shoot the Ray of Frost for 11 cold damage.
And that will seemingly sort of put a rime of frost around this strange being.
Indeed, and its movement speed is now reduced by 10 foot until the start of my next turn.
Mm-hmm. But as you do, that form dissipates into a little bulb that begins to whiz its way further into the city, apparently towards a particular building.
Let's follow them.
Well, we'll see exactly where it might be going after our break. Alright, so I will assume that you're going to try to follow those lights.
That seems to be the plan.
Alright, well, eventually you would find those lights flitting towards a particular, looks to be closed, or I guess looks to be sort of a large facility of some sort. It's probably some form of kind of library-ish workshop. Doors look to be open, or at least unlocked. Who's the first 2 to go in? Who's the second 2 to go in? So I can have.
I'll-
notes
I'm
on the
going
map.
in
I'll
first.
be at the front.
I'll be behind them.
I will not be at the front.
Alright. Well, then let me move you to this page. It is an eerie quiet as you do get into this workshop. Tables as you can see, chairs empty, shelves lined with scrolls, books, but all the way, way, way at the back, 3 figures, 2 in robes and 1 in some very peculiar looking suit.
Please don't be kobolds again. It's always kobolds.
One looking very, very familiar. As this gentleman in the suit turns around holding a coin with a large ruby in his fingers, hearing the door open, and looks, "Ah, well, seems we do have company, but it does look like nobody is home."
Really? Really, Rocky?
Lisana is actually going to facepalm at this.
Pelaios just raises an eyebrow.
Well, no one, nobody. Nothing to say to family. Well, extended family at least. Or have you gone off on your own? Too good. I will say, what you delivered was very useful to my own eyes, as he clangs the armor. An adaptation of a design, as you know.
Pelaios just sort of nods slightly.
Oh, quiet. Usually quite the talker. I'm surprised at you. But I will say I'll be taking your assignment and this interesting trinket, which I have heard that you have been seeking for quite some time.
At that, his eyes will narrow slightly in a "oh really" sort of way. And then he will respond, "I think not."
Try me, nobody. Let's see what you've learned.
As you wish. And hold on, I need to double check something. Okay, no, mirror image only lasts for 1 minute, and it's definitely been a minute past a minute, I'm guessing.
Definitely a fair past a minute,
I
but
figured as much.
I think he's trying to goad you for something else.
A little bit, yeah. Hold on, let me look at the map, because fun times. Are those two, that's the sort of black cloaks, the sort of pale hair, they're the two behind him, yeah?
Yes.
This should be fun. Side note, I know a setup when I see one, Rocky. Pelaios will move to here, I think. Hold on. And ooh, almost there. We're going to move forward a few steps.
Pardon for those who couldn't see.
There we are. Should be able to now see. So for those in chat, there's person there, there, and there. And I think that's the right position I wanted. Yeah.
While that is happening, Belanor nods to Vak, and in Dwarvish asks him whether he's noticing something. Or the absence of something.
Just about. So allow me. No, I don't even remember what voice I was just doing now. Damn it! Allow me to demonstrate. See, here's the thing. I took lightning bolt last level, which is a straight line, and there's 3 people in a straight line.
Yes.
It's sort of an open invitation, and why the fuck wouldn't I? Pelaios will start muttering. He takes the amethyst crystal out of his pocket, because this is not an attack roll, and so he doesn't need to roll to thingy boost it. And he will use it, wave his hands around, and then he just sort of pushes his hand towards the 3 of them. The room around him darkens, barely noticeably. Not like the whole room, but immediately around him just darkens, and all of this darkness sort of swarms, for want of a better word, flows, whatever, towards his hand that he's pushing forwards, and just bursts straight out in a 100-foot long blast of electricity.
I gotta love when I miss buttons, but that should have some better illumination for everyone to see what's going on.
Fun
Indeed.
times. And that just goes straight towards them. DC 15 dexterity save for 25 lightning damage, or half of that if they make their save. Also, anything that is, to quote, the lightning ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. As a minor additional note on that one, because, you know.
Yep. All right. Well, the 2 folks in robes at the back will actually be taking their save at disadvantage, being so close to things that are quite conductive with that lightning bolt, due to the circumstance they are holding onto metal.
Whoops. Ouch.
All right, those 2 will actually be quite shocked. However, as the lightning bolt does pass by this man in armor, holding this coin on the core that it has, it seems to be that the lightning parts around him,
Motherfucker.
that a little bit of it absorbs into this thrumming ruby, which he places into the chest piece of this armor. Ah, very good. I see that you have already dispatched my associates. I've already done what I needed to do here.
Already done what he needed to do here. Oh, say that last bit again.
I've already done what he needed to do here. Now, if you will excuse me, as he stomps one of his boots onto the ground, there is a shimmering wave around him before there's an audible as he blinks away.
You know those moments you wish you'd taken counterspell? Would I recognize enough of... Would I recognize that as a spell, or be able to work out how fast he's likely to have travelled? Like, are we talking a 60-foot radius for a wall? Is it 500 foot?
From what you can tell,
anywhere.
it is probably... From what you can tell and what you know of this gentleman, it's likely a property of his suit, and you don't know how he has
Details.
improved this suit. Correct.
Naturally. He will
However, there is something left behind with the mages. Something that has clattered and broken onto the floor nearby.
Oh, goody. Pelaios will scowl at the escape and is going to have a shocking grasp just prepped, which is, yeah, just because, and is going to walk over to investigate.
All right. Well, what about the rest of y'all after
Everything
seeing
else.
this little quip and scene? And eloquence from Pelaios.
I'm just gonna take a step back and stand over here.
Well, that was a shocking development.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Frici.
Lisana's gonna facepalm at that, and then she's gonna look around the area and see if she can determine what was going on in here.
All right, give me an investigation as well as a other investigation from you, Pelaios.
Cool, I'll put myself over approximately here for reasons. And investigation. Please be higher than the 7. Okay.
It was higher,
but not by much.
Technically, it was higher than a 7. 11 it is.
Well, given what you do happen to find with the 7, it's pretty much there is a lot of information here. You aren't quite sure exactly what they may have been looking for, as there is books, scrolls, various kinds of research, treatises, theorems, theses, doctorates. Really, it looks to be a research facility of some form, but given the script that it's written in and sort of the broad natures of the subjects, it's very difficult to understand what they might have been looking for. You, Pelaios, however, since it's just a simple thing on the floor, you find what looks to be I'm trying to find the word for it. A wooden square that seems to have a dull crystal in its center, and scattered around it look to be pieces that would fit into that square. Would anyone else like to come and see what this weird contraption might be?
Are they tables? They look like tables, the big sort of silvery greyish ones.
Yes.
Yes.
Big old stone tables.
Cool. I will collect all of the pieces and I will sit down at the table just on that corner I'm right next to currently. So I'll sit here.
Belanor will be trying to approach and seeing what.
Well, Lisana, Vakhuil, any else want to come have a look at this curious little thing?
Sorry, I'm a bit preoccupied over here. I'll come too.
I feel like I got debated so badly there.
It's like it was already planned.
Shocker.
Yes, but
Mostly
let me
provocative.
move you. Mm-hmm. Let me move you to
Oh no.
what you happen to see.
Ooh.
The particular pieces strewn around and the crystal in the middle. Welcome to the puzzle.
Would Lisana recognize any of these symbols?
Well, take a moment and think for yourself. I'll allow checks after a couple minutes. I want you to just take in the puzzle, see what you might recognize or not.
Uh-oh. Eight pieces, 8 spaces. That's so far so obvious. None of the lines reach the edge. And none of the lines obviously connect with any of the lines going out of the woodwork lines, the things. I know what I mean. Does the bit in the very middle, Rocky, can you describe that? Like, is it just a inlaid solid gem? Does it twist or move at all?
It looks to be an inlaid gem.
It's basically just solid and there.
Quite correct.
Okay.
Looks like it might serve a purpose, but probably only once the pieces are in place.
It's the big go button. Okay. Well, whatever.
Take a bit longer to analyze the pieces and think where you might have seen them before. Because this is not just a thing in the game, but there's a little bit of meta here too.
Oh no.
And you can probably find the answers in your character sheets.
Oh no. Oh no, I know what this is. Because there's 8 of them, right? These are the schools of magic, aren't they?
Ding, ding, ding.
There is exactly one thing which there are 8 variations of in this game. now to see if I can remember or work out what any of them are. Right, the purple one, bottom or left-hand side at the bottom is illusion. I can be almost certain about. I won't go so far to say absolutely certain. I want to say the top two are left to right, evocation and abjuration. Which leaves...
Nope, neither of those.
Really? Okay.
Well, sorry, one of them is correct, but one of
gonna
them is not. But
okay.
I'm not going to tell you which one's which. No.
Naturally, I'm inclined to say the bottom right is necromancy, but that may just be because it's a sort of undead green color, which is not
That's
actually.
not green.
That's not green.
Nope.
What color would you call that? The sort of pointy arrow, the up arrow type one. What color would you call? That's pale green, surely. Am I the only person seeing pale green?
Which one?
Bottom.
This
By the
one.
That one,
That
yeah.
is not green.
Do I need to get color tested for color blindness, or does Frici?
Yeah, I'm questioning that too because I'm seeing it as green.
Just
It is
saying.
a very weird pale green.
Wait, I need to remind myself what the other schools of magic are because I'm a dumbass. Pelaios would probably know, but wow, I'm stupid. Also,
Well,
just for
the funny
reference,
thing is,
because the icons are fucking matching. So
yes, here's the meta. You figured out it's the schools of magic, and you can see which ones those are via your character sheets because they're the same symbols that D&D Beyond uses.
yep. So let's try this again. So the yellow cone is conjuration. The other one, which I said was abjuration, is actually evocation, so I got them completely the wrong way around. I was right about necromancy. The blue one on the right-hand side is abjuration.
The pink one on the right is enchantment.
Yes, I would agree with that. Transmutation, therefore, is one on the left top, and
Is it?
yes. Yes, I would say it has to be. Transmutation is the orange one on the left, which leaves divination as... Is that really the symbol for divination? Yeah,
It's
it
as
is.
close as I could make it,
Yeah, no, it is.
given the restrictions I could.
Fucking weird symbol for divination.
Close enough.
So we know what they are, that doesn't say what order they have to go in.
That is very true.
And it could be...
What order are they on D&D Beyond?
I mean, at the moment, I'm literally sorting it by alphabetically by spell name on this list, so that won't help.
No, it
You
won't.
also don't know where you start. It could be top left and left to right, or
If
in
you
a circle.
hover over game rules, though, it has a certain order.
It does, which is alphabetical. Abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, illusion, necromancy, transmutation. But we also don't know where it starts. It could be top left, round in a loop. It could be top left to right, just jumping middle. And it might not be top left to top right.
It could be like a clock too.
It could start in the middle. You know what? Fuck it.
I was gonna say yes. We can.
I do that and see what happens.
Nothing happens.
Move it around. See what happens.
Yeah. I slide it into each slot one at a time. I would slide it into each slot one at a time, just going around in a circle and see if give it a moment after each one to see if anything happens with just one symbol.
It does not lock in any particular position.
Interesting.
It seems to be order is not the particular trigger for this. At least order of one.
Okay, so either all of them have to be in a specific order, or
Can I try something?
by all means. I assume you say this out loud.
Yes.
I'm going to say, for the sake of clarity, given there are not super magically knowledgeable people in the party, that I've been muttering most of this out loud. and for no particular reason other than
I
convenience.
just want to try something. I want to put this here and cast command into it.
Huh.
On the tile.
Yes.
On the enchantment tile, okay.
Well, you can't cast command on the tile, but so the spell does not
Fuck.
trigger. But there are
Not a
now two
valid
things in
target.
place.
If I
Would I
put...
be able to see if him trying to cast command on the tile, regardless of the tile being unable to understand the command because it's a fucking tile, if it reacted to it being of the same
It-
school?
Did not react.
Okay.
I will do... What if I do this? Specifically.
Nothing happens with that.
Evocation opposite to abjuration, it sort of could be a thing. They're not exactly opposing schools, but they do sort of do the opposite, approximately sort of thing.
You're on the right track, at least. Opposing schools.
So we have to find all of them at the same time. Those two will be sort of obvious ones. I'm tempted to say that one and that one go opposite to each other. Enchantment and no, divination and illusion to discern and to deceive.
Those two are not opposed. At least when you think meta-wise. Would everyone like some arcana checks
Yeah, I can manage that.
to have an idea? So one success will be one clue.
23.
And the rest of y'all, if you'd like.
Oh, look at all these fancy checks. That's so on character for everyone. 23
All right.
from the sorcerer, 17 from the nature druid, maybe not quite so magic theory. I've no idea whether 21 fits with Lisana, and then just that gets a 5.
Pelaios.
Lisana is touched by Fae.
Valid, we'll go with that. I had forgotten that.
Right, Pelaios, pick a school that you know in particular.
Oh, wow. That would be... Illusion. No, yeah, illusion.
Illusion. To create things from nothing, to create a semblance of something living. Its opposite would be to create
It's actual.
the semblance of something from something already existing.
So that's that one.
Create a semblance, not change a semblance.
Oh, you said from something already existing. I feel so misled. No, there you are. There you are. Conjuration gun.
Can I
No.
assist with that?
No?
Think a little more. To create life and movement from something already existing.
Oh, fine. It must be. What? No, wait. What did I just put on there? No, it's enchantment. Then. Is that correct?
Opposite
That is not
side.
correct.
What? So create something from what? I can't even word anymore. We already got the first two, abjuration and evocation.
So illusion
It's
is to create the
conjuration, probably.
Didn't we already try
illusion is to
conjuration?
create a semblance of life using nothing. Its opposite is to create the semblance of life through something that already exists.
So necromancy. 'Cause
Necromancy.
then says-
As you get those two in,
okay.
they lock together.
Ooh. We said we already had the other two, didn't we? The evocation and abjuration. We agreed those were correct, I think. Did we?
No, those have
I
not locked.
Okay. No, I thought you had said. Okay. Interesting. So two of them just lock into place. I will notice this, and having noticed that the other two haven't, I will just tip them off onto the edge or whatever.
All right, Frici, find yourself a school you know.
Something, pyromaniac.
Yeah. Oh, well, they're not so fair, but you know.
I
But
think we
let's
just...
go with
You heard it here
indeed
first, he admitted it.
Did I?
Yeah, you said fair. It's admitted, he's a pyromaniac.
So Frici,
Okay.
pick a school that you happen to know, and I will give you a hint towards its opposite.
We have conjuration here. Yeah. Yes, that's it.
All right, we'll put it on the board. All right, the opposite of to create, to pull matter from something is to be able to pull sight from something, pull information.
It would be Asian, I guess.
Very broken half.
Someone pinged it, thank you.
That may or may not be green.
Well, got to put it in the point.
Yes, fair. I did.
Oh no.
We did the other one.
Conjuration just went
Rocky!
bang.
Rocky, what did you break?
Wrong layer.
Okay. I was like, I'm moving that and the other bunch, like, what happened?
Yeah, just wrong there. I went down instead of up. So
Okay.
therefore, that leaves Lisana. Pick a school.
Well, at least that's on it. We're not talking about
Enchantment.
Vakhuil. We don't need to talk about Vakhuil.
All right, enchantment. The opposite of enchantment. To create energies within is to create energies without.
I'm just noticing that all of these pieces, when we get to matches, it's always the one that's already nearest the slot it needs to go in, so we already had them all in the right place.
That's literally abjuration, by the way.
No, that's evocation.
Yeah, but abjuration is the one that it should go in there.
Dave, give me a chance to try and work it out.
It's okay,
Well,
he's
no.
doing it anyway.
Enchantment and evocation are the correct positions.
That's
Really?
okay. Evocation is
To
manipulation.
See?
To create energies within, to create energies without.
That is...
Within, without, inside, outside.
As the
TP.
person who just shot a lightning bolt across
I mean,
the room,
all my abjuration spells do that, but okay.
abjuration is about absorbing energy, which is to say that will go there, and absorbing energy. And I'm now genuinely curious what your clue was for transmutation. More just out of curiosity than anything else.
A change, a protection against change, and a change itself.
Yeah, so. Anyway, yeah, that happens. Pelaios slots the last two in, and just because he can, spins it round slightly.
As the central cube and the abjuration symbol light up. Welcome to phase 2 of the puzzle.
Pelaios looks up at Vak and says, "Do you want to try that again?" I'm obviously referring to your previous use of a command spell, though implying probably shouldn't be using a command spell because that probably won't work because it's not an abjuration spell, etc.
I'll try and cast Cure Wounds energy into the evocation one.
The abjuration one is the one that lit up.
Oh, what kind of abjuration do I have?
I'm assuming you're
Shield
Shield
of
of-
Faith energy.
Yeah.
God damn it, dog! Leave me the fuck alone for once.
Okay, well, you don't spend the spell slot, but putting that energy there does something different. Looks to be that it had flickered the different light there.
Oh, I can.
I do not have either of those.
I have both of those. Illusion and divination. I cast.
One moment.
Oh.
I'm looking something else up
Thing
right quick.
explodes in my face and. Actually, before I cast anything, I will mutter to myself in Infernal. This is probably an extremely bad idea.
Okay, what's being done again now?
I was about to cast Shadowblade and Mindspike.
Well, one at a time, please.
Yeah,
Let
Shadowblade
everyone have a
first.
turn.
That's
So
fair.
Shadowblade, which school?
That is illusion. Sort of his specialty, that one. Oh fuck! I hate these puzzles.
Next.
Also a tiny flame on the appropriate tile.
Okay, I believe.
Top left.
What school has produced flame?
I'm guessing.
This flame, conjuration, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, conjuration, I think. Yeah, conjuration.
Oh, not top left. Middle left.
That would be this one.
Can I touch the crystal
Do they
in the
have
middle?
to be in a specific order?
It's when you cast a spell on a tile, it's lighting up or it's flipping the state of that tile and both adjacent tiles each time. So
It's a light puzzle.
Yeah.
It's a light puzzle.
It's literally that. Plot twist, it turns out none of us have one particular spell type. I have no idea which type it will end up being, but that would be awkward. It doesn't actually
Does
matter.
anyone have necromancy?
No, but it doesn't matter because if you do either of the two corners at the bottom, it will still light it up.
So Lisana, which one are you going to press?
Actually, I don't know. Does anyone have any necromancy spells?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. Awkward. That could be a problem one day.
I'm switching between tabs, bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem.
It's a silly little puzzle, I will admit.
Isn't the trick just to get all the corners lit up? Am I wrong?
The central crystal turned off at one point. That was deliberate, I presume, Rocky.
It was deliberate, yes.
Okay, yeah.
No.
I mean, you accidentally banished Conjuration at one point, so or was it one of them anyway? So just checking. And that was directly after I cast Shadowblade, which means bottom two were not turned on. and top 2 were, yeah.
Let's go with divination for Hunter's Mark.
We have 1. Then up those 2. I think it's total number of them which are lit up, which is causing it to glow.
Is it, or is it because one got activated next to it?
The first one which was lit up was top right. It doesn't matter which types they are, top right. The first thing
No,
we did...
that's not what I mean. Is
It is correct.
We just cast something on something next to it, and then it turned off.
That is correct. That is the pattern. It is just a it is a filler light right there.
Which means... that almost works. I can
If
turn...
I cast... Well, cast protection from poison on the abjuration tile, what does that do? How do things react?
All 3 on that top right hand side should turn on.
Logically, yes. I'm understanding this correctly, at least.
Now we can either A, continue this puzzle for however long it goes, or seeing, aha, this is fun and silly, we can say take time until the solution appears.
I think they have the solution, but
Do you want to let Frici direct people? Or Belanor or whatever, whoever's directing at that point? Just because it might be interesting to see if he gets it moment for a moment, and then if we all turn out
I
to
want
be
to see
idiots,
what Frici does.
yeah. Then if we all turn out to be idiots, time passes. A few days later,
that works. So yeah, Belanor will be trying to cast protection from poison on the abjuration tile.
All right.
We are idiots.
this is news to you.
Puzzles are hard.
They can be. Does someone have a transmutation spell?
I don't actually. I don't think.
Yes.
There we are.
Cast it.
Oh, I do actually.
Do I?
I have fun. I have thaumaturgy.
Do I actually?
I have thaumaturgy if we think a cantrip would actually be
I
sufficient.
might actually not. Never mind. No, I don't.
I cast thaumaturgy on the transmutation slot. It may be a cantrip and therefore may not work, but we're not burning spell slots apparently, so I'm guessing it doesn't matter all that much.
I believe it works because I cast it.
Oh,
cantrip
you did
earlier
a
and it
cantrip
worked.
earlier, that's true. Yeah, that'll do it. Frici got the thing.
And that leaves someone to cast a conjuration spell.
Lisana, do you have a conjuration spell?
I do. I will cast Misty. I believe Misty Step. No.
Yes, I believe
Yes.
it might be. Yeah, because conjuration is also weirdly teleporty.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna cast.
And in doing so, there is a thrum and a buzz from this device before everything shuts off and goes dim.
Meanwhile, a
And-
meteor strike impacts the city.
Yeah, however, through the little crack left open in the door, you see that the light dims, and becomes dark outside again. Albeit with that ever burning lantern light.
We fixed the world.
You fixed the little freaky device that was playing havoc with the shield. Who knows what the reason for creating daylight in Rosohna could be? Especially by whoever that group was, whoever that man was. I'm sure there's got some splaining to do.
I'm trying to remember who that man is now, because I'm sure I recognise them.
Well, let's see about that.
Da-dum, da-dum. Oh look, we're back.
Would you like me to just tell you, Dark, or would you like to
Oh, no, I think-
expound your thoughts on it?
No, just tell me. I'm dumb. I can't remember things. This is well established.
This would be a colleague of your master, per se. Same organization. Goes by the name of Marek. An artificer of sorts. Always
goody.
tinkering, always trying to find something a little bit better to improve. It seems to be that, again, whatever you seem to profit from, he will always take and improve on. Whatever you seem to seek, he wants to take. And he seems to have done so in both regards.
How helpful. I will once we've solved the thing and it sort of turns itself off and all. I will stow the puzzle in my pack, I think, for the time being.
As you
Oh.
are stowing the puzzle, the crystal in the middle falls out.
Oh.
It has dislodged.
Oh, it's just loose, it's not like...
Oh, no, as in it comes out,
Oh.
and it is dull, it is empty.
Is it... When it separates, can I examine the crystal to see if it is intrinsically magical or whatever, or if it is just...
You can give me a Arcana check on that.
It's just itself.
Would I be able to assist with that?
Yes.
Oh, I'm really glad you said that. I'll take a 17 over a 5.
There you go.
I'll definitely take a 17 over a 5.
Let me see if I can't find it.
Side note, did anyone actually search for bodies of the other two?
Nope.
Cool.
No, we got too preoccupied with the puzzle you found.
Betty,
Shiny lights!
Okay. With a 17, you are actually able to figure that this is some form of ion stone, albeit it is now depleted.
Damn. Depleted irretrievably, or like it could possibly be recharged, and or am I able to tell what sort of ironstone? But I'm guessing no.
Due to whatever magic has been gone, it is now just a depleted stone. It could possibly be repurposed for a very simple, common purpose. But aside from that, it will not be able to recover any of its properties.
I mean, in fairness, it was interfering with the local climate of the entire city, so that seems reasonable.
Quite.
So noted. I will stow that separately to the remainder of the rest of the puzzle then. I won't put it all back together, I'll just, stow it separately.
Should we report this incident to somebody?
Probably a good idea.
Probably.
It might be of very large import to the Aurora Watch, knowing that something went on. That it was a particular device in a particular group that you may know the name of.
Yep. So...
Anything to reveal to your party, or shall you be keeping them in the dark on this?
No, he's just going to start walking through the door.
Off to the door.
I mean, we were more or less on our way to try and find some shiny rings, as I recall,
We were.
which the dwarf has somehow convinced us all that we desperately need.
Sorry, what?
Well, he's saying that he's going towards the door in order to get back onto what was going on before this whole incident.
Yeah.
Any questions or quite really interrupted? Any questions towards him? Because it seemed to be that man knew Pelaios in some fashion.
Vakhuil doesn't really care.
What about you, Belanor or Lisana?
Belanor would be more interested in the fact that Pelaios replied to the man without his typical stutter than who the man was himself.
And your thoughts, Lisana, on it?
She's curious about that and just the fact that they did seem to know each other.
So, is there a question to raise audibly?
No one's saying anything.
In fairness, you've already walked towards the door. Would you even hear our questions until we get closer to you?
Well, yeah, you can just jog up to the door. We're getting into this little wind up here.
Yeah, we're not in any sort of initiative order. You can just
Nope, no initiative, yeah.
launch up to me and start yelling in my face if you want to, but it might not be the best idea.
Then yeah, she's gonna walk out in front of him, stand in his way, and ask, "So, who was that?"
Who was that indeed? We'll find out next time. If you would give us our outro.
Ambush. Alrighty, so thank you very much everyone for coming to stream today. I hope you have enjoyed. We've had epic character reveals, which revealed literally nothing. Right, so yeah. This will be up on YouTube on Friday. We're back next week. I really hope we'll be back next week. Let's not make October a pattern. Because that was way too many weeks off in a row.
Spooky month.
Spooky month. All of that stuff. You can see all of the previous. Conveniently showed up in chat like 5 minutes ago or something. You can see all of the previous episodes on the YouTubes. Vixie is doing a streaming thing for Extra Life. Is it the next 2 weeks? Well, this week and next week. 2 week sort of period. Is that right? I am getting this right. Yes? No?
Yes,
Yes.
It's ending on the 14th. I will be doing streams specifically for that. The campaign itself is open until the end of the year.
And it is raising money for Extra Life. And it's the Hospital of... No, wait, hold on. Hospital of Our Lady, is that right?
Nope. Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital.
I got the words, just not all of them, and in backwards. But yeah, there is a link in the channel, in the chat. Go click on that. Go donate some money. Save yourself some coffee you would normally get from Starbucks. Except that you aren't getting it from Starbucks because no one's allowed to go to Starbucks anymore. Etc. Etc. I don't know why I picked Starbucks. I'm not sponsored by them or anyone else for that matter. That'd be nice. Anyway,
Because it's the most commonly mentioned one.
that's probably true. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So do those things. Go donate. Go watch videos on YouTube. Come back next week and watch us do this all again. Where that could be. Oh gods. Anyway, yeah. Thank you all for turning up today. That was way more passive aggressive than it was supposed to be. Thank you all for being here.
Come in, join next time. See what the heck is wrong with Pelaios.
Everything.